Hey, this is Tilak. Welcome back to Fast Formula tutorial. So far, we've seen that the components, basically the foundation of the Fast Formula engine. Today, we are going to write our first sample Fast Formula. This session could be a little longer because since it's the first formula, I'm trying to explain how it put together. Okay, for the first formula, I've taken the compensation person selection type. It could be anything. You can take any fast formula as long as you know that what is the context, what is the input value, what is that return variable. If you know that, you can take any fast formula. I have taken the compensation person selection. Okay. Now I'll explain what is the foundation or what is the background of it, the components of it. Then we'll get into writing the fast formula. The context. What is the context is support? It is supporting the date and effective date, start date, end date, assignment ID, person ID, all this stuff. It is supported here. And what is the input variable supports? It supports the effective start date, effective end date, statement ID, period ID. Okay, this is that input value it supports. Now, what it is expect out of fast formula? It expects the return value either Y or N. Now, I know the context. Now, I know the input value. I also know the return value. Now, we will see what is the logic I'm going to put it. Okay. This is a hypothetical logic. This has got nothing to do with anything. Just I came out with the logic. There's no any reason behind that. I just hypothetically came out with that. The condition I'm having three conditions to make the person is valid or is selectable or eligible or not. The person gender must be female, and that person age must be 50 or more, and the person must have 12 months experience in that organization or the company. Now how? Okay, gender is that person information which is available, so it should be equal to F. The age is basically from today date. It is not a system date, it is that date the formula executed. That's the effective date. From the birthday to the effective date, the age must be 50. Okay. Then the minimum 12 months from the hire date, the latest hire date. It is not necessarily that they have two hire date, what is the original hire date and that latest hire date. The original hire date, if a person is terminated and the rejoin, that is how. So basically from the latest hire date to the effective date, it should be 1 year. Okay. Now I'm going to look for a fast formula. The fast formula is not available. I do my own calculation, but definitely I know that the gender must be there, date of birth must be there, and date of hire must be there. But I'm not sure there is a age is there. The calculated age is already there. I don't know. I'm going to look for it. If it is there, I'm going to use it. If it is not there, I'm going to use that date of birth. When I'm coming to the experience, there are DBA available, which is called seniority date, I believe, but they are a bit advanced. So I'm not going to cover that in this session. This session only I'm going to take that date of hire, then I take that today, that effective date, then I'll minus it, I'll calculate it. Okay. Now we will see we'll get into how to write a fast formula. Since we are using that fast formula from compensation, we navigate through compensation. Last time we did through that a setup, the general setup. This time we go through the compensation. Okay, selecting the compensation. From you can choose select fast formula, search it, or in the end it is there. Just Okay, select the first formula. It's getting to the same screen. Okay, I'm creating a first formula. I know what is the type is. We already talked about that. I'm giving a name TCS person selection. You know the type is compensation person selection. Okay, we talked about legislative group the last time. If you select the legislative data group, this formula will be available for those people who are part of that legislative data group. We are not doing it. We are writing a past formula that is applicable to everyone. 0101. I'm giving a old date. We talked about why I'm giving a old date last time. Okay. I make this screen a little bigger so it is easier to see. Okay. The first one I'm going to give here is some comment. Okay. So basically, what is the formula name? What is the type? And what is the reason? Name is basically, I'm just putting this reason here. I'm telling type. I know that. Then the date today, and the Python developer is say me. And say that the requirement is requirement is basically select the employees. Okay, person who are female and female ages TR more and having one or more year in the organization. Okay. This is what I needed. Now what I do? I need to find out, basically I need that, basically like I need to find out the gender, age, and the date of hire. Okay, now I have to need all this information has to come from DBA. There's no way out. Or input value. We know input value is not there. We already seen that. So the only possibility is DBA. Where do I find the DBA? You can search the DBA here. Okay, it is not a very great search engine, but that's the only thing available. If you know anything else anywhere available, please let me know. As per my understanding, this is the only place you can search it. The person is always start with per. Okay, then the person, since it's a person information, it is a person. Okay, we'll give gender. It is not there, so I will give sex. There's other possible name is sex. It is not there. Okay, I just take this person. Let's see. Okay. I can detach it, make it bigger. Now this one, I can make it bigger. Sorry. Okay. So this is what I needed. Okay, this says what data type it is. This is a text, basically is a character. Okay, we'll talk about these things later, why there is a bigger character, like data type is there. Nowadays, like I'm interested in this one, and there's a single values coming out of it. That's what my understanding is. So I'll take this part. I did add it. I just type it here. I collect all my DBA, then I'll start writing code. The other one, what I need is what age. Okay. So I put here. Here I type person age. Let's see. The age is not available. Then I have to go for a date of birth. Then I have to make a calculation. Let me see. Let's see per person. That is what I'm looking for. Okay, this is what I'm looking for here. Generally, extract and all don't use extract or anything else which is not part of that particular mode. We know that the person information coming from the person. This one is a per person or per age. That is what I was looking. Is a number. Okay, I know what it is having is a number. Then I'm using that as this one. Okay. Now the third one I need is basically HP years. So what I know here is it is that assignment one. Basically, is the employment information. So I believe it's hire something. Sorry, A is assignment. Age. Normally there will be a button to search it anyway. Okay, here basically I'm looking for that. This is a rehiring date. Okay. Okay, there are two hire date. One is the original hire date, other one is the rehire date. Original, when a person is terminated and hired back, that is a rehire date. Even if the person is not terminated, that is also the original date is the same as the rehire date. If the person is terminated, the rehire date is different than the original hire date. In this case, we are happy with this one to take that because we are taking the latest hire date. That's what we are looking for. That our condition is the person having experience this one. It doesn't says that from the original date, and this information is date. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is I just put a some comment. So okay, declare DBA. Okay, you can put your own comment. So how do I declare that? Okay, that is that we set the default. We don't declare them default for per assignment is X. Normally we use certain things which is not commonly the part of the value. So we know that that's a default. Here I am expecting either F or female, male M. So I'm putting X. Okay, default for. So I'm just copying and pasting this one. Default for this one is that age is -1. It cannot be -1 number. It cannot be 0, either 0 or -1. I'm using -1. Here I'm putting that what is the impossible hire date? 900 01 01. Right. So since it is a date, I'm telling here it is a date because otherwise it became a string. That's the reason I'm telling it is a date. Okay. Now I'm done here. This one. I go to DBA. Okay. Sorry, input value. Okay. Input value. How do I declare the input value? That's the syntax is inputs are. What is input value? Possibly I can take copy from that, like that information in the document, or I can write it. Okay, I'm putting it IV period start date. It is date. You can have a date or text. You can also have it as a text. Okay, text. You can have it as a text. Fine to me. I'll have it date. Date is also fine because no, it will be text. Inputs are end date, end date. Then I have a statement ID. Statement ID. Number you don't have to define anything. say period ID. Okay, okay, this is done. Now what I do here is I declare the, okay, before that I declare the value. I always put a debug statement when it is entering, exiting it, everything. It writes into the log. That is how you basically debug it. But if you have a lot of log in the beginning, you have a lesser issues because every time you test it, you can find out what is going wrong. What I'm doing here is ltemp. There are many ways you can debug it. First, we start with the default way of doing here is, so it is ESS, this is the syntax, EXS log write, log write. Okay, this is right. Okay, ESS log write. Entering, where are we entering? Entering CMB person selection. Okay, so when you have entering, you have exiting too. So I'm putting that here, returning or exiting it. Okay. Now next one, I'm also declaring a read val. Okay, read val. By default, I'm telling return values no. Okay. Now I'm returning the value. This is what I'm returning it. So here I'm adding that, so I know what it is returning. Okay. Now I have the DBA, I have the input value, I have the output. Now what we have is the logic in between. Okay. The logic, what I do here is, first of all, I take what is the context coming in. So I know that who's the person, who's the effective date. I can also find out, like, period, start date, and date. I can write that. Okay, let me write everything what we have now. So what I do here is I get that L person. Okay, L person is get context. Okay, get context help you to get that information of your person ID. Okay, and say -1. Okay, the thing is, this is the second one is a default value. In case it doesn't have a value, default value will be returned. There's no concept of null, so most of the time you use the default value here. Okay. So the get context, get the value of that context. If it is not there, it will return the result. And I say that L date, that is, I'm getting that effective date. That is the date it is. Okay, get context effective date. Okay, now this is the EFF effective EFF effective date. Okay, what I do, this is the data I'm using it. Since I have to tell them as a date, you have to tell them is a date. Okay, that is effective date. I got the date, effective date, I got it. Now what I do here, okay, now I can write them here. Okay, person, I think we have to concatenate, not the plus. I'm not sure the plus works. This one works, sorry. This works. Okay, now this, I cannot concatenate character with, there's no, it doesn't internally convert them, like, implied conversion is not there. So you have to basically convert them into the character, string. Okay, person is here. Okay, now what I do here is I put a L date, Okay, I also going to do the effective end date. That is, I'm interested in that. Let's see. I also going to put that. Okay, since it's a character, I think it works as it is. I declare them as a character. So the end date also I know that. Okay. In this case, I don't need, that's why I'll ignore that part because I am going to work with the effective date, but I can do that if I want. Okay. Now I know that. Now I'm going to do that. I'm going to get the value from the DBA. Some people use the DBA as it is. Some people use the alias. I like to have it in that variable. So it's up to you. How do you want to do that? You can sometimes they put the alias for that to like write it smaller. Yeah, it is. I prefer having the variable so that I can like date. Okay, variable date. Okay. Now what we do? I am going to debug all these three part. Okay. Gender, gender. Since it's already a character, I don't need a conversion. Age is a number, so you need them to convert them into a string. And the date also same thing. Okay, I know what's the date here. I'm not worried about format converting the date. I'm interested in the information, so I got the video. Now probably for my condition I need one more thing, that is the experience. Okay, experience in months. Okay, now how do I get that? I can divide the dates. Basically, like I can take that current effective date, the current date minus hire date divided by 365. Yes, that give a year, or I can say that then I can divide by some 30 something to convert into months. There's a function available, months between. Okay, you can look at the document to look at the functions. That's a kind of months MON, months between, say, what is the L date? What is it? Okay, L date. The second, you take the older date first, that date. So this is give you the month between this one. Okay. MONTHS between. Spelling is wrong. Okay, months between. So that is also I put experience in months. Okay, that is also number. So we are doing it. Okay. Now we got all the value we want in the log. So we know that if it is not working the way we like it, we can easily find out. I'll show you where you can find it. Now I'm getting into the logic. Okay, I'm going to into the condition part. Okay, first condition is if gender is equal to female. Okay, gender is equal to female. Female, then we open the bracket. Okay. Okay. If you are having only one line below the condition, you don't have to put a bracket, but I prefer to have it so I know that exactly okay, now if age is more than 50, right? Age is greater than equal to 50, then okay. Experience month is greater than equal to 12. Okay. Greater than equal to 12. Then open the bracket and the bracket. Okay. Now if it is true, now what happened? All of these three condition is met. Then it became y. Okay. That's all. My formula is over. I'm going to save them. Okay, I'm going to submit them. I'm going to compile them. If there is anything goes wrong, okay, it will turn into red and you'll get the message here. Okay, if everything is fine, that will turn into green. I'm refreshing to see. I hope it compiles. Okay, good. Okay, I'll show you. I make a one mistake. I'll show you what I do here. Okay, I remove a part, or I say that. Okay, I remove. Okay, I make two mistakes. I remove this part. Okay, sorry. I go back and search it again. I'll make a mistake. I'll show you where that the message comes, so you know that exactly what is happening here. I'm choosing a TCS formula selection. Okay, I'm going for a correction. Don't do update because update will track the whole thing. I'm going to make a correction. I'm removing is a syntax, both the syntax mistakes I'm making it. I'm giving a what do you call it? Okay, what I do here, I give a variable, a different variable I give it. Okay. No, what I do here, I use the I use the ages. I'm using a wrong variable in the conditions. I'm removing it. Okay. I'm saving it. So two mistakes I done that. What is the wrong variable I'm using it, and there is no then conditions. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Okay. Now if you go down, it says 43 line number. What is 43, 42, 43? It says the syntax error. Okay. Then I'm putting here. Okay, I come to this and correction. 43, I'm coming to here then. Okay. Let's see. There will be one more time. Save. You don't need to submit. Okay. Compiling again. Here the only problem is it doesn't give you all the mistakes in one shot. You have to basically fix it and you have to again compile it. Okay, again I got that. 42. What it says is local variable was used. So basically it says the variable is not initialized in condition which is being like okay, that is what. So I'm saving that. I'm compiling that. Okay, I'm refreshing it now. I think everything is fine. Oh, 42. Sorry, I fixed the wrong line. I'm sorry. Okay, month, age. Okay, 42 is age. It was my fault. Months. Okay, saving it, compiling it. It is combined. Okay, the video is getting longer. I end this video here. In the next session, I tell you how I'm going to use it, how the debug is that the messages are displayed, and if it is not working, how do I comment? I hope like when something goes wrong for somebody. When I see that how I'm going to come back and fix it, then I'll do it again. So, uh, like if you have any comments, suggestion, let me know that. If you have a question also, you can let me know that I try to answer. Thank you. Bye.